Hey YouTube, haven't been at y'all for quite some time. So I decided just to walk in my neighborhood and just talk to y'all a little bit. So what's been going on with me? So long story short, I haven't been doing any movie reviews. I haven't uploaded anything in quite some time. I've been more or less just busy with life, the good, the bad, the ugly. But I wanted to take some time out to talk to y'all for a second. Like get my morning walk in. Well, I don't see so much content online about people being laid off, talking about the doomerism about the world and all that kind of stuff. So I decided I wanted to get my 2 cents in. So a little bit about me. I have a degree in uh, biomedical engineering. That was my bachelor's. I got my MBA from a state college. I got a master's in organic chemistry from a state college. And I got a master's in like some pharma policy thing. So, so like STEM, business, policy, that kind of thing. Over the last year, I decided to enroll myself in law school part time. And you say, what the hell? You got all these degrees. What are you trying to do? Well, my long term goal was to be like in some type of science, policy, regulatory role long term. Well, I picked the wrong sector. Don't mind the braces. I hate them too. Um, Long story short, I have been unemployed for about 4 or 5 months now. I have been getting very little interviews. Only people call me now are typically people calling about, ironically, my car. They'll be like, your warranty is lapsed. I feel like it's a scam. If you see what that is, let me know what that is. Um, but long story short, um, the job market is not job marketing. The idea that we were here and get a degree and you'll be educated and the sectors will just kind of look for you because you're such a hardworking person and you're so educated and we can plug and play with you because you're such a hard worker and we can tell from your credentials. I don't know what the fuck I was believing in, honestly. Maybe it worked like that for the last generation. It doesn't anymore. Uh, Most times I apply for jobs, I get rejected by the AI. Um, so if you're dealing with that, it's not just you. Um, all these spider webs around me. And yeah, I mean, escape velocity. I don't even know what else. So I was like, I think this was over a year ago, and I wasn't laid off at the time, but I felt like this shit could happen again. So I decided to enroll in law school. And thank God I found a program that kind of specializes in what I want to do long term. And knock on wood, and hopefully it turns out in 10 years this all works out. Not this video is more or less a microcosm of my journey, but um, I don't know. It's all interesting. Um, so what now? What's really going on? So I'm not just telling you about my situation, but what I think was really going on in this larger thing that we call an economy. Well, and simple, the economy is hitting records highs basically every goddamn day. We have these mega monopolies that you can go into a long tirade about why they're not split up or why they have so much power and why they kind of, have so much power compared to all the other sectors and how much money they have in cash. Well, we can go into all that, but it's not necessary. In general, these super monopolies have basically unlimited amount of money, and everyone's putting the money in AI. And honestly, it's working. MU's up, Dell is up, AMD is up, Nvidia is up. You know, so yes, for the stakeholders and shareholders, they're killing it. I mean, there's why not invest in AI? If you have 100% gain year over year, why not? all of us stable sector like manufacturing. You know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of ROI on that. So a lot of other sectors are getting just squished. Parts of me wishes this is a bubble, but then that would cause a lot of blood in the water for the entire economy, because then we lost all of this wealth and we took a huge gamble on something that didn't pay off. And but at the same time, I'm like, shit, I wish my sector got all that wealth and stability and all that other stuff. It's interesting because typically, I never seen a big shift like this in my lifetime. But it feels like every 3 years or 4 years, something monumental happens in the millennial millennial life. I don't know how to describe it. If it's not COVID, if it's not this, it's not exceeding the great financial collapse. I mean, it's just a whole bunch of stuff. So, like, you have this K-shaped economy, things are getting worse. I see people left and right losing their job. I don't know. It's just very interesting to live through this whole process. It was really, really unfortunate. You're realizing that a lot of success, unless you're top of your class, you become, you go to a great school, you have great grades. But for the majority of us in the bell curve, myself included, a lot of your life success, at least early on, is going to be determined by, right now, your sector, your boss, and that's really in timing, more or less. If you didn't apply at the right time when they're looking for someone like you, if you were not at the right geographical location, if your sector is not expanding, it's going to get hit. I think the old narrative is like, you just study something you really enjoy and you're going to find success in it regardless. All that's true anymore. Or at least, I think it hasn't been true for quite some time, to be completely honest with you. I think the whole gender studies nonsense really kind of shine light on that. But right now, I think it's getting even worse. It's like jobs really want people who are plug and play. If you don't have the exact credentials, the exact experience from the same exact pipeline they're looking from, you're going to be rejected out immediately. So I don't know. But I'm not a doomer. I'm really not a fan of all the content online about the world is ending, the sky is falling. Ironically, like, the term we use as economy is still doing pretty well. GDP has gone up slightly. Inflation is getting hot, sure. But like, if you put money in, like, to the stock market, you're up like 20% already in a year. This shit don't mean anything to you. No. We're about to have our first trillionaire. What are we talking about? The economy's doing bad. I mean, well, the problem is that when we say terms, sometimes we make these assumptions of what it actually means. I feel like the middle class is learning that they're kind of irrelevant, from their votes, what they want, to the economy. It more or less, people just feel neglected, ignored, walked over. And I think people kind of have this feeling that not the American dream is dead. I think you can still pull yourself up in a minor bit. I'm not saying you're going to be living on the hill in LA or driving a Bugatti anytime soon. But you can always improve your situation. But it's going to suck. I mean, look at me. It's going to be my 4th graduate school degree and my 5th degree in general. And mind you, I don't know if people might ask me this. I did all of this while working full time. I never wanted to leave the workforce and not get experience. when I acquired these degrees. Therefore, I can always have experience and the degrees, and kind of think about it like a bull rolling downhill. One competitive advantage leads to others, and downhill. By the time I get all of them completed, and all the experience I would have gained, and the incremental jumps I made along the way from having those degrees, may matriculate it into something or materialize in something much bigger. But that was like the idea. Who the fuck knows anymore, man? Like I said, applying for jobs is interesting. Most a lot of jobs are being reposted all the time. I think if you're in sectors like healthcare, accounting, law, those jobs are pretty stable. There's always going to be some type of demand. People need their what's it called, 10Ks reviewed. People need their accounting books reviewed. People always gonna get sued. People always get sick. So jobs like that are gonna be safe. But everything else that can be outsourced is. I mean, Mumbai is booming. I mean, Japan's booming. I mean, in my sector, I work in pharmaceuticals and biotech. I think when I went on the job portals, a lot of organizations, most of their hiring is like in India, Taiwan, Japan, Germany. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff going on in the USA right now in some sectors. And then it begs the question, what can you do? Should you just like jump the fence into another sector? Should you wait it out and just become destitute? Should you just max out on your credit cards and just roll the dice? The answer is that there's no real good answer. Resetting a career when you're already like in your late 20s, early 30s, or even 40s for some of y'all dealing with this, that's a huge gamble. You already people a lot of times already have student loans and you're already burnt out from school. I'll be honest with you, I'm probably one of the rarities that every time I open up another book of like food and drug law, I just get so exhausted. I am so burnt out. I find it funny when people say like they got their bachelor's and they're done. And I'm looking at myself like, my God, I feel like I'm an anomaly. I even surprise myself sometimes. It's not me to like be braggadocious, but like seriously, it's very exhausting to just be this, I guess, dedicated to wanting an opportunity to be successful, or just some type of stability. It's really crazy out here. I feel bad for a lot of, I'm gonna get a little political. I feel bad for a lot of black people right now, black men and women. We're going through a lot right now. Unemployment for us is skyrocketing, and we're the highest amongst all demographics. And you have guys like me who are unemployed. They're not gonna put me on the face of any DEI. What's it called? Libs of, is it Libs of TikTok? I forget it. I can't remember. No, the Legion. I can't remember. There's a few people I follow and they always post stuff about DEI and it's easy for black people to get a job and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I wish. I freaking wish. Let me just leave it at that. But no, I mean, at this point, would I pivot sectors? Maybe, who knows? My idea when I finished my JD, I never want to actually practice law. I was never the goal. Now, I might be forced to. I think in this economy, in this world, the idea of like going to college, oh, there's a goddamn possum right here. No, seriously, there's a possum. See that? Wait, hold on. See that thing? We're right there. There's a fucking possum. I'm gonna take one step closer. I see that motherfucker? He's looking at me. I ain't trying to get rabies. In this economy, like, I think like there's not a lot of stability long term anymore because things move quarter to quarter and companies are not really investing in you for the long term anymore. As soon as stakeholders need a way to make more money, once shareholders have a new way to leverage their resources that doesn't, i.e., include you, you're out. So the only way to be successful a lot of times in this economy is find something that's like high stability, like I said, in healthcare, law, accounting, stuff like that, some type of engineering, construction, real estate. If you don't put yourself in those kind of value chains, you always got to be able to hop on feet somewhere else because the consistency is no longer there. And as someone who's already in law school, it's kind of funny. This is how you know the economy is all fucked up. And for y'all who don't know this, might be news to y'all. The ABA, American Bar Association, has these things, they call these statistics of how many people are applying to law school. In the last 2 years, I think in raw numbers or raw aggregate applications, I think it's up like 30 to 40%. Seriously. And the people who are applying are not at the bottom of the bell curve, that the leading in the far right. There are more people in the 80, 90 percentile than ever before, which is outrageous. That means it's not the weak people finding who is going to law school. It's the really strong people. It's the people who said, I went to NYU and Columbia, and, these are not the average person who went to my HBCU who kind of stumbled into law school. We have an overproduction of elite people, so it's just very scary. And, just accept it. I mean, like I said, get outside, take a walk, enjoy your day. That's how much you really can do. All you can do is try to upskill as the best you can and try to survive this thing. And who knows, you can upskill today and the market shifts tomorrow. But stay away from all that doomer content. Well, the stock market's going to crash and housing is going to crash. That doesn't do anything for anybody. You want stable employment, so work toward that. Want to gain some skills, work towards that. And if the economy is not giving an answer, an opportunity, just accept it. I mean, I'm a black man in America. Maybe I can just accept grievances a little bit better than other people. But, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, when black people would go through some towns in the South, they knew, like, if they stopped, they might get killed. It just is the reality of the world. You can't shape you can shape your reality, but you can't form it. Make sense? You can shape your reality, but you can't form it. So, do the best you can and live whatever that lands you. That means you believe in God, and it is what it is. Some people get very, very lucky and jump onto a good organization. They might have the skills or credentials that you think. Congrats to them. But don't be hating on them. Just try to better your position. All right? In the meantime, I'm going to try to do a little bit more of these. Get my thoughts on what's going on in the real world. Let's talk to y'all. Until next time, peace.